cycles of life makes me think about like reaping and sowing, and we're talking about maybe some recognition or you reaping the rewards of something, some kind of work that you've put in. So this might be about you entering a time of your life where like it is time for you to reap, or it's time for things to grow and to blossom and flourish for you. Cycles of life talks about kind of the ebb and flow of life. And if you look at nature, you just like, you can see it so clearly. And it's really helpful actually to look at nature, because sometimes we're in a period of our life, we could look at it as like a winter period where it's like nothing's blooming, nothing's growing. We kind of feel like, wow, I just dropped a bunch of cards. We kind of feel like our work isn't paying off, or things aren't coming to fruition the way we had hoped. And it's like we might just be in a phase of life where we just have to go through that time. Like we're in a winter period, and soon will come spring when things do start to bloom, and where things start to take root, and we start to be able to see the efforts, like on the outside, see all of what we put into a project coming to life. So this is telling me that something that you did devote yourself to that might have felt unbalanced, something you felt like you put a lot of energy into but didn't get the reward, you might be entering a time when you're starting to see that reward, and kind of just recognizing that you could have just been in a slow growth period, or in kind of like that winter period if things have felt slow. We have freedom. 2 more oracle decks, I promise. I'll hurry. Let's see. Just 2 more. What is this new cycle, you guys? Because I feel like this new cycle, it's providing you with this sense of freedom. Kind of this idea that anything's possible, or more is possible than you originally might have thought. Communication. Wow. Communication coming through for some of you, because I was already picking up on that. Lines of communication might open up with this energy of 2 and balancing things out. So this might be about getting that communication that you need. And for some of you, this is communication in general, like hearing from someone. And for others, this is the communication that you need, like what you needed to hear. Something that you needed to hear, the recognition that you needed, the appreciation that you needed to hear from someone, the love being communicated that you needed to hear. Let's get one more card. I'm just going to pull you an animal spirit card, and then we'll get on with it. Let's get on with it. To look at the bottom of the deck. You have stingray energy at the bottom of the deck. This can talk about like kind of an awakening, tapping into all of these new energies, accessing all of this new information and these new feelings. And it kind of does bring me back to that cycles of life. It's like entering into this new cycle. So I feel like so much is changing for you. I'm going to start with the elephant energy. Well, I guess I already started with the cycles of life, but no, I'm not. I'm not going to start with... I'm being pulled between these 2 energies here, and it's like the cycles of life. This is card 4. Sorry, I'm getting excited. I'm getting ahead of myself. 4s are a lot about balance and about bringing stability. Like, think about a chair that only has 3 legs. It's not going to be the most stable chair for you to sit on, especially if they're configured like there should be 4. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to fall over if you sit in a chair like that, or a table that, you know, is missing a leg. It's going to fall over. So there's this idea of balance again, and the energy of 4 can be like a very celebratory energy. the energy of doing things that bring us into balance. So this can also be back to that kind of like, if we've been in a slow period, if we've been in that winter period, and it's like, will spring ever come? This is kind of an indication that yes, spring will come, summer will come, fall will come, like autumn time and the harvest season for you. And this is just an analogy. It's not literally like you're moving through the seasons, but sometimes our lives can mirror and mimic those seasons of life as well. So this is like some stability is coming your way, and it might be coming in an unexpected form because these are changes that you're not seeing coming. So this is something changing in an existing relationship or environment that you really didn't see coming, that's bringing more stability. But most of all, what I'm seeing here is with elephant energy. So with the elephant, we think about like obstacles, because an elephant can overcome any obstacle. It can straight up knock the obstacle out of the way. And so I feel like if there was an obstacle to balance, if there was an obstacle to connection or to communication in a situation in your life, you might not realize that this is changing and that this obstacle is about to be eliminated completely. That's kind of the energy of the elephant. And another important message that comes through with the elephant is that some of the obstacles that have been placed in our path were there for a reason, and we start to see that kind of looking back on it. So if you have been in that slow growth period that we were talking about, you might even look back on that period and start to see why there was the need for slowness, or what lessons needed to learn, or what had to be healed before this communication could take place, or whatever it is. So it might have felt like obstacle after obstacle, but what I'm seeing here that's really beautiful is you're kind of seeing the purpose of these obstacles. You can even see how those obstacles may have guided you and led you to exactly the right place. That happens sometimes. It's like we're trying to walk, we might be just trying to go in a straight line, and boom, here comes something to get in our way. So we go around it and we try to be strong, and then we run into another obstacle. And maybe we have to take a minute to rest and recover, and we find a way around it, and then there's another obstacle. And the place that we end up after we have kind of skirted around and avoided and sidestepped all of these obstacles is a place that we would not have ended up had those obstacles not been there. Like, we will end up in a completely different location because we had to go around all of these things that were unexpected, that were inconvenient, that were not in alignment with our goal, our plan, our vision. But the beautiful thing about this, and what I'm seeing is happening for you with this freedom card, is I think you do get a sense of freedom knowing that these obstacles that you have faced were there for a reason. They were there to teach you a lesson. They were there to bring balance, to even make you notice that balance was needed in a situation. Let me use a personal example for this, because it's really what's coming to mind. I have personally had a lot of health struggles, and I struggled a lot years ago with being very ill, like to the point of not being able to enjoy life whatsoever. And it's a difficult thing to go through. It's a frustrating thing to go through. It's something where you just feel like, oh, now this problem and that problem, and there's all these things I want to do, and I have this huge obstacle of health in the way. And for anyone who has struggled with health issues, you know how huge an obstacle that is, because if you don't have your health, it's really hard to enjoy any part of life. But the thing about all of this is, and I can only see this looking back, a lot of growth took place during that time. A lot of introspection took place during that time. A lot of refining what I wanted out of my life and what I wanted to experience and how I wanted to grow. A lot of that happened because of these obstacles, because I wouldn't have gotten clear. Sometimes your world gets narrowed down so much that you have to gain some sort of clarity. It's like, if I only have this much longer on this earth, what do I want to do? I want to get very clear and deliberate about my days. I want to make sure that I'm enjoying, that I'm growing, that I'm loving, that I'm thriving, that I'm really living. Because when you are kind of faced with the idea of not getting to do that, things become clear. So a lot of times we learn a lot about ourselves, a lot about what we want, and we might be in a period of like standstill. That was a period of standstill for me for sure. I couldn't really do much of anything. So it's like I might have all of these dreams and visions and ideas, but I can't really do anything. I was in that winter period. I can't execute on all of this because I have all these obstacles. But you start to really see and get free from the idea that that obstacle threw you off your course, or that obstacle was tragic and terrible, when you see the lessons that you learned, the clarity that you gained, how much more deliberate and clear you can go into a spring season after a period of winter and reflection and drawing in and things going slow and things not working out. How much more clear you can be when you come out of that, knowing what you want, and how much more balanced you can be, because this balance that's changing for you, this might be you changing and developing a more balanced approach. You might have to, if like going on with the health struggle example, you may have to figure out ways to implement more balance in your life. Maybe you're burning the candle at both ends and it's just too hard to keep up with all of that, and it's just not healthy for you, and it won't actually create the life that you want. If you're always in a state of exhaustion, or you're sick, or you're devoting all this time to things that you don't really care about. So you might need to implement more balance, and sometimes these obstacles show that to you. They hold a mirror up and they say, hey, you got to get this together, or you're really not going to be able to enjoy the sort of freedom that you want. You're really not going to be able to experience the life that you want. So yeah, and for a lot of you, I feel like there might even be a spiritual communication aspect to this, because it is a time when we are in that like that standstill period. It can be a time where we start communicating a lot more with our guides, with our angels. We start getting more clear about getting those messages, like receiving those messages and understanding them. This is so interesting. Yeah, definitely apply this to whatever it is in your life, especially if you felt like you were at a standstill, because I feel like these obstacles are being lifted, and there is a sense of freedom here. There's a sense of like, oh, I can finally go, because I am moving into this next cycle of life. I can finally go. I got the communication I needed. I got the message I needed, and now it's time. So this is coming for you in the near future. Obstacles being lifted, and even you understanding the point of those obstacles being there in the first place. I kind of want to talk about this freedom card a little bit, because if I'm not mistaken, on this card, this is actually showing a swallow, I think. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure this is the bird that's depicted on this card, and the message here is swallows can actually be very solitary birds, but they usually choose to nest in a colony. So this is bringing me back to this idea of partnership. This can be kind of this idea of like, who you're surrounding yourself with is definitely a choice. And the number 2 takes me back to the idea of choice as well. It's like, it's one or the other type of thing. And it's like, I think you guys are really being deliberate about who you surround yourself with. And it's giving you this sense of empowerment and freedom to choose to surround yourself with people and even things, like even surrounding yourself with an environment that's conducive to you entering this next phase and you loving and supporting yourself. So there is really a choice here. There's a choice to partner up, because we have this idea of partnership. There's the choice to partner up with like-minded people, and to kind of be in this energy of like, this could be your soul family. For some of you, this could be a friend group. So there might be an opportunity to really surround yourself with, yeah, I'm hearing like birds of a feather flock together. So yeah, that might be what that choice is about. Knight of Wands, Eight of Cups. Okay, I gotta pause, because if I don't, I'm gonna forget. But what I think I feel like I was expecting to see the Eight of Cups, and then it's here, because I think earlier we were talking about either balance is going to be restored to an existing situation, or you might be leaving a situation and moving on to one that has more balance. And that can actually, for some of you, that might even still be the existing situation, but there is kind of this feeling of moving on from something that didn't work. And something that wasn't balanced, and where you weren't being appreciated, and you're moving into a situation where you are. So this could be, for instance, what I mean by that, when I say it's the same, it could be the same situation, but it changes. This could be like a job where you are promoted to a higher position because of the work that you're doing. It's being recognized, you're being appreciated for that work that you're doing. There's more balance because now you're going to make more money, you have more responsibility, you have people reporting to you or something like that, but you didn't actually leave or walk away from the job as a whole. And for others of you, you might actually walk away from that job, get another offer, move into something that is more of a passion to you with this Knight of Wands, pursuing something that's more of a passion to you. And that is where you really do find that balance, because when we are in that energy of pursuing something that it feeds our soul. So in that way, it's like it pays us back. We dedicate our time, our energy, our focus to it, and it pays us back by filling us up. So really interesting energy, and kind of funny, because when I was saying before you might literally walk away from something and into a more balanced situation, I saw the Eight of Cups. So you guys are walking you guys are walking away from something and towards something more passionate, something you feel more passionate about. If we look at these cards, walking away from these Eight Cups, and the Knight of Wands walks toward passion, moves toward a passion. Page of Cups. Did I say the Knight of Cups? Sorry, the Knight of Wands. Okay. Page of Cups. The pages are messengers, and the Cups cards are connected to our emotions and connected to love. So I do wonder if some of you are receiving that message of love, that communication that we were talking about. Communication, and in some area you don't expect it. It's so interesting. This is someone you don't expect to hear from. Oh, the Two of Cups. Yeah. This is somebody you might not have expected to hear from, but this is partnership. And someone who's going to be reliable, somebody who's going to meet you right where you are and balance this out. So twos are a major theme for you guys. I wonder if that's been apparent to you. I'm going to look at the bottom of the deck, Ace of Wands. So new passion, kind of an invitation for newness, and a lot of abundance with this Empress energy. Wow. Okay, some of you might be finding out that you are expecting a child, or that someone really close to you is expecting a child with this Empress energy, and all of this newness, this childlike energy with the pages too. But this might be news that's very surprising, and something that it's going to bring a lot of love into your life and bring a lot of balance. So interesting, and that's a message for a select few of you, I am sure. But you might be finding out that there's a new addition to the family, even to your friend group. So this might be a close friend of yours, if it's not you yourself or your partner. This might be a close friend of yours. And when we talk about cycles of life, this might be moving into a new cycle of being a parent. This could even be adopting a pet and becoming a parent to a little puppy, or a cat, or whatever, you know, a bird, whatever type of animal you're feeling drawn to and connected to. But there's like a newness here, entering some sort of new phase and a new cycle with this, and really pursuing a lot of passions here, moving away from situations that don't feel balanced. That's so crazy that you guys have the Two of Cups though. So I'm just looking to see if there's anything else I see before we wrap up with a little bit of advice. I'm seeing a lot of love and support for you guys that you might not realize is there for you. I'm seeing that the obstacles that have held you back or held these situations back are moving out of the way, and that's allowing you to really enter this new phase of life, this new cycle. So I don't know what that means for you, because this could be a change of career, and it's like you're entering this whole new phase. This could be a new phase of a relationship that's existing. This could also be a new relationship completely, or becoming a parent. But I feel like this new phase moves you closer to something that you are passionate about, and something that you feel like you can really start fresh with. So this might even be renewed energy around something that's existing job, existing connection. Let's see about some advice or messages for you. Ooh, we have soon. I think that came out in reading 3. So these changes are happening sooner rather than later. We were looking at in the near future, but this might be something that's happening a lot sooner than you think. What other messages do you have? Oh, I think the card flipped. Let me see if I can find that. Ooh, we have Dare to Dream. Wow. So really, this is something for a lot of you. These changes that are coming in, you really don't expect them. You've given up on the idea of this for a lot of you, or there's one thing in your life you've given up on the idea of, like we were talking about. Like you're thinking, this person's never going to contact me, or this relationship will never get fixed, or I'll never be recognized at work. I should just walk away. And it's like, dare to dream. Some of you might not think that this passion that you want to pursue, you might think there's too many obstacles. You might think that there's no way these obstacles will just disappear for you. Okay. So I had cards flip and I'm digging them out, and here's what I see. Partnership. We've been talking about that the entire time. Support. The same. We've been talking about this the whole time. So you might not realize that this support is here for you, that this partnership is here for you. You might have given up. You never expected. We have Imagine and Dare to Dream. So this might be about you actually manifesting, visualizing things going the way that you want them to. And I think for a lot of you, a big reason that these are changes you don't see coming is because you may have just given up. There's so many cards that came out that flipped over. So we have Make a Plan, The Decision is Yours, Can't Stop Thinking About You, and Speak Your Truth. Oh, okay. Some of you, like, this is a love thing. Like, a big portion of the changes that you can expect have to do with love or some sort of partnership. And there's somebody that can't stop thinking about you. There's somebody that might be right now planning to make their move, to contact you, to communicate with you. And I feel like this person is approaching this situation like the decision is yours. The ball is in your court. They're going to talk to you, they're going to express their feelings to you, but really the decision is yours. And at the end of the day, you are aware that this is up to you, whatever choice you make. And this could also have to do with options in your life, career options, changes you want to make. It's like, this is just up to you deciding that you can have this, because you have this Dare to Dream. You have support that you've never known or recognize that you have. So this decision is yours. I feel like somebody has you on their mind, and somebody wants to somebody wants to speak their truth about the connection that you have with them, about this partnership, about potentially even rekindling something. I'm seeing for some of you a new beginning somewhere. Wow. I feel like there's so many opportunities here, and it just depends on what's going on. If you've applied for a position recently and it's something that you feel like is just way out of reach, there's somebody that literally can't stop thinking that you're the candidate that is perfect for the job. And this could be even if, like, you don't have all the experience. You might not have the proper experience. You might not feel qualified. You might still be in school and you're like, are you going to hire me when I haven't even really completed my studies? But it's like, they can't stop thinking that, oh, there's something here. Because there's something about you, and there's something about your passion here. So it might not be about a job, but kind of take that as it resonates. Apply that to your situation however it makes sense for you, because it's like, even if it's something that you really don't have a lot of hope around, you might have reached out to maybe work with a company on something or something like that, a partnership, a collaboration, and you're like, there's no way this person's going to give me the time of day. Maybe you sent your music to somebody and you're like, they're not going to listen to this. I just don't have any faith in this. Or maybe you haven't sent it because you kind of have this idea that nobody's going to care about what I have to say. Nobody wants to listen to my music. Nobody wants to see my art, whatever it might be. But what's coming through here is like, you're not going to realize the impact that you're making in this situation. You're not going to realize how appealing your resume actually looks, or how much your music was speaking to somebody. You dropped off some kind of recording and you're like, they'll never listen to it. They can't stop listening to it, actually. They're like, I want to get in contact with this person and see what's going on because I've been playing that song on repeat. I can't get that song out of my head. It's that kind of energy. Or someone that you met that's like, they can't stop thinking about you. They want to contact you and tell you how they feel. So yeah, strengthen your belief around this is what I want to say. Strengthen your belief around it. Dare to dream that this is possible for you, and take those steps, make that plan, take the steps that would be necessary to bring this into fruition, because why not? Because it could happen, because that could be your story. It could be your story that you stood out among the crowd, that you were seen and that you were appreciated, that you did win. There's kind of this element of winning, so this might be like a contest or something. Against all odds is how this is coming through, because you may have given up on this. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there for you. I'm losing light rapidly here. It's just getting dark so early now. So yeah, I want you to be able to see your cards. So I'm going to wrap up this reading. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me and letting me read your cards. If you did like this reading, if you resonated with any of these messages, don't forget to hit like, leave me a comment down below, and hit subscribe if you feel like it. And hopefully I will see you again in another reading really, really soon. Bye.